What happens when the fastest woman alive takes on the fastest mouth on YouTube? On one side, Sha'Carri Richardson, world champion sprinter and global icon. On the other, IShowSpeed, streamer, chaos engine, and self-declared fastest YouTuber in the world. But in a 60-meter sprint, who actually wins? You think you know the answer, but let's break it down scientifically, competitively, and maybe a little bit controversially. Let's start with speed, and the moment that changed everything. IShowSpeed isn't just energy and chaos, he's legitimately fast. And he proved it when he lined up against Noah Lyles, the fastest man in the world. Remember that viral moment? Speed challenged Noah to a 50-meter race, and what happened shocked everyone. Speed caught a 5.95-second 50-meter dash. And here's the kicker, he was right there with Lyles for the first 30 meters. Now, there's debate about the timing accuracy, the conditions, the surface, but even accounting for all that, Speed showed he's not just fast for a YouTuber, he's genuinely athletic. That race put Speed on the map as more than just a content creator, it showed he belongs in conversations about speed. But Sha'Carri Richardson, she's been dominating those conversations for years. Let's talk about Sha'Carri's legendary season and why her numbers are absolutely mind-blowing. Her personal best, 10.65 seconds in the 100 meters. That's not just fast, that's historically elite. But here's the story most people don't know. At the World Championships, she almost didn't make the final. She was placed in lane 9, the worst possible position, after barely qualifying. Lane 9 means you can't see the field. You're isolated. You're basically racing blind. Most sprinters would crumble under that pressure. Sha'Carri, she ran the race of her life. And here's the key stat for our 60-meter debate. Her split time through 60 meters in that 10.65 race was 6.94 seconds. Think about that, 6.94 seconds for 60 meters, while she was just getting warmed up for the full 100. That's not just world class, that's superhuman. Now let's get scientific about IShowSpeed's actual potential. Based on his 5.95 50-meter time against Noah Lyles, we can estimate his 60-meter capability. Sprint times don't scale linearly, but using acceleration curves and comparing to elite sprinters, Speed would likely run somewhere between 7.2 to 7.4 seconds for 60 meters. That's actually impressive. That would put him in the realm of high school state champions and low-level college sprinters. But here's the reality check. Sha'Carri's 6.94 is a full 3 to 4 tenths faster. In sprinting, that's not just a gap. That's a chasm. To put it in perspective, that's the difference between making the Olympics and not even making your high school varsity team. Let's get into the mechanics of why this gap exists. Speed's strength is his raw explosion and natural athleticism. He's got powerful legs, competitive fire, and genuine speed. But watch his form. His arms flail, his stride is inefficient, and his acceleration pattern is all wrong for elite sprinters. Sha'Carri, meanwhile, is a technical masterpiece. Every aspect of her sprint is optimized. Her start, her drive phase, her transition to top speed, her stride frequency, even her breathing pattern. She spent years perfecting the art of moving 100 meters as fast as humanly possible. Speed learned to run fast playing soccer and being naturally athletic. Sha'Carri learned to run fast through world-class coaching, biomechanical analysis, and thousands of hours of technical training. Here's where it gets psychological. Sha'Carri has been under pressure that would break most people. Olympic suspension, personal tragedy, media scrutiny, online hate, and she still came back to become the fastest woman in the world. When she steps on a track, she's not just running, she's proving something. Speed, his energy is infectious, but it's also chaotic. Against Noah Lyles, you could see him get caught up in the moment. He was barking. He was amped, but when the gun went off, he almost false started. In a 60-meter race, there's no room for error, no second chances, no time to settle in. Sha'Carri would be locked in from the moment she steps in the blocks. Speed would be, well, speed would be speed. Let's paint the picture of how this race would actually unfold. Runners to your marks. Sha'Carri settles into her blocks with the precision of a surgeon. Speed bounces around, probably yelling something about Portugal. Sit. Perfect silence. Sha'Carri coiled like a spring. Speed, trying to stay still but vibrating with energy. Bang! The first 10 meters, Speed actually matches her. His raw explosion keeps him even. The crowd is going absolutely insane. 20 meters, they're still together. Speed is running the race of his life. Even Sha'Carri looks surprised. 30 meters, this is where technique starts to matter. Sha'Carri's form is flawless. Speed is starting to fight his own mechanics. 40 meters, Sha'Carri starts to pull away. Not dramatically, but clearly. Her stride is longer, more efficient. Speed is working harder for the same speed. 50 meters, the gap is visible now. Sha'Carri is in full flight. Speed is still running hard, but he's reached his ceiling. 60 meters, Sha'Carri crosses first by about 2 meters. Speed finishes strong, but he's been outclassed by a master. Final times, Sha'Carri 6.94, Speed 7.25. But let's give Speed his flowers. Running a 7.25 60-meter dash would be genuinely impressive. That's faster than 99% of the population will ever run. The fact that we're even having this conversation shows how legitimately fast Speed is. He's not just a YouTuber who happens to be quick, he's a legitimate athlete who happens to make YouTube content. And honestly, the gap between 6.94 and 7.25, while significant in elite sprinting, would make for one hell of an entertaining race. This isn't just about who's faster anymore. This is about bridging worlds. Traditional athletics meet internet culture. Elite sport meets viral content. Professional precision meets chaotic energy. Imagine the build-up. Speed training with actual sprint coaches, learning proper form, studying video, Sha'Carri embracing the chaos, maybe even trash-talking back. The content would be incredible. The race would be legendary. And honestly, both of them would win just by making it happen. Think about what this represents. Speed has already shown that content creators can be legitimate athletes. His race with Noah Lyles proved that YouTube stars can compete at levels that demand respect. Sha'Carri represents the pinnacle of her sport, but she's also shown she understands modern media and fan engagement. A race between them wouldn't just be about who's faster. It would be about showing that athletic excellence comes in many forms, and that the best competitions happen when different worlds collide. So who wins our hypothetical 60-meter showdown? Sha'Carri Richardson takes it, running approximately 6.94 seconds to Speed's estimated 7.25. Now, here's what needs to happen. Someone needs to make this race real. Nike, Adidas, YouTube, whoever. Set it up. 60 meters, proper track, official timing, maximum chaos. Who do you think would win? Let us know in the comments.